You say you want to be happy. You tell your friends you want a peaceful relationship. You promise yourself you're done with the drama, the stress, the constant feeling of not being enough. But look at your life. Look at the people you keep letting back in. Look at the chaos you keep recreating. There is a terrifying possibility you haven't considered. What if you don't actually want peace? What if, deep down in the wiring of your nervous system, you are addicted to the suffering you claim to hate? This is the hardest truth you will ever face. We believe we are victims of our circumstances. We believe suffering is something that happens to us. But the dark psychology of the human mind reveals something else entirely. Suffering isn't just a byproduct of bad luck. It's a choice your brain makes because, believe it or not, suffering serves you. We've been fed a lie that all humans naturally seek pleasure and avoid pain. That's the pleasure principle Freud talked about. It sounds logical. But if it were true, you wouldn't keep texting the person who ignores you. You wouldn't sabotage the job that was going well. You wouldn't pick fights when things finally get quiet. The truth is, your brain doesn't prioritize happiness. It prioritizes familiarity. And if your baseline for the last 10, 20, or 30 years has been struggle, anxiety, and pain, then happiness doesn't feel good. It feels dangerous. It feels like waiting for the other shoe to drop. To your brain, suffering feels like home. This is the familiarity trap. Your nervous system calibrates to a specific level of emotional intensity. If you grew up in chaos, calm feels boring. It feels like death. You unconsciously seek out problems to bring your internal state back up to the high-stress baseline you recognize. You choose suffering because peace feels foreign to your biology. James had a great girlfriend. She was kind, stable, and communicated clearly. For 3 months, everything was perfect. Then, out of nowhere, James started feeling suffocated. He started picking at small flaws. He created an argument out of nothing just to feel a spike of adrenaline. He blew it up. He told his friends the spark just wasn't there. That was a lie his conscious mind told to protect him. The reality was that the stability terrified him. His nervous system didn't know how to process safety. He needed the familiarity of rejection and chaos to feel alive. He chose suffering because safety felt unsafe. But it goes deeper. Suffering isn't just familiar. It gives you something valuable. It gives you an identity. In a world where you feel invisible or unsure of who you are, pain gives you a definition. The victim is a powerful role. It comes with a script, a costume, and a built-in moral high ground. This is the identity anchor. If you are the person who always gets hurt, the person who tries so hard but never wins, you have a story. You have a reason for why you aren't where you want to be. If you let go of that suffering, who are you? You're just a person responsible for their own life. And that is terrifying.
Suffering provides a massive secondary gain. It absolves you of responsibility. If you are in pain, you don't have to try. If you are broken, nobody expects you to succeed. Your misery becomes your shield against the demands of the world. Think about the last time you wallowed in sadness. Really think about it. Was there a tiny dark part of you that enjoyed it? A part of you that felt special in your pain? A part of you that thought, look at how much I feel. Look at how tragic this is. That is your ego feeding on the drama. This is the martyrdom complex. We are social creatures, and we have learned that suffering draws attention. It signals to the tribe, I need help. But in the modern world, we use it to signal depth. We mistake pain for profundity. We think being tortured makes us interesting. Sarah constantly complained about her toxic boss. She spent hours every night venting to her partner. She was miserable. But when a headhunter called with a better job offer, she turned it down. She said the commute was 10 minutes longer. The truth? She didn't want to leave the toxicity. Being the victim of a bad boss gave her a daily purpose. It gave her something to bond over with her co-workers. It gave her an excuse for why she was too tired to work on her novel. Her suffering was the glue holding her social life and her excuses together. There is also a chemical component to this addiction. Emotional pain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals, cortisol, adrenaline, even dopamine during the cycles of makeup and breakup. You can literally become addicted to your own stress hormones. This is the biochemical feedback loop. When things are calm, you go into withdrawal. You feel restless, empty, agitated. You need a fix of emotion. So you create a problem. You revisit a painful memory. You check your ex's social media. You trigger the pain to get the chemical rush your brain craves. You aren't fighting your ex or your boss. You are fighting your own biology. You are fighting the withdrawal symptoms of an addiction to chaos. But the most dangerous reason we choose suffering is what psychologists call self-verification theory. We want to be right more than we want to be happy. If you believe you are unlovable, being loved feels wrong. It creates cognitive dissonance. It feels like a lie. So you will unconsciously destroy love to verify your own belief. You will push people away until they leave, just so you can say, "See, I told you everyone leaves." You choose the pain of abandonment over the pain of being wrong about yourself.
This is the confirmation cycle. Your mind hates being wrong. It will burn your happiness to the ground just to prove its own negative predictions were correct. It feels satisfying to be right, even if being right means being miserable. Recognizing this is the pivot point. Once you see that you are the architect of your own hell, you stop looking for a savior. You stop blaming your parents, your exes, or the economy. You realize the call is coming from inside the house. This realization is painful. It hurts to admit that you aren't just a victim of bad luck. It hurts to admit you've been feeding the drama. But this pain is different. This is the pain of surgery, not the pain of the disease. This pain heals. You have to declare war on your own comfort zone. When peace feels boring, you have to sit in the boredom. You have to retrain your nervous system that calm is safe. You have to refuse the urge to check the phone, to pick the fight, to spiral into the sad music. You have to strip away the identity of the victim. You have to be willing to be nobody for a while. Someone who is just okay. Someone who is just living without a grand, tragic narrative. It feels empty at first, but in that empty space, real life can finally grow. Stop romanticizing your pain. It doesn't make you deep. It just makes you tired. It steals your energy, your potential, and your joy. There is no nobility in suffering that you choose. The world is hard enough on its own. Life will bring you pain without you asking for it. You don't need to manufacture extra. You don't need to carry the heavy bags just because you're used to the weight. Imagine waking up and not feeling the heavy dread in your chest. Imagine a relationship that is just easy. Imagine having energy left over at the end of the day because you didn't spend it all fighting imaginary wars in your head. This isn't a fantasy. This is what happens when you stop choosing suffering.
It's what happens when you decide that being happy is more important than being right, more important than being interesting, more important than being safe in your misery. Your mind will fight you. It will scream that this is dangerous. It will try to pull you back into the dark. But you are not your mind. You are the awareness watching the mind, and you have the power to choose a different thought.
Every time you feel the urge to self-sabotage, pause. Ask yourself, what am I trying to feel right now? What am I trying to avoid? Catch the mechanism in action. Shine a light on the monster and watch it shrink. You are capable of a life you can't even imagine yet. A life where happiness is the baseline, not the exception. But you have to let go of the suffering first. You have to open your hands and drop the identity you've been clinging to for survival. It takes courage to be happy. It takes courage to be responsible. It takes courage to be boringly, beautifully stable. The secret is out. The suffering isn't happening to you. You are doing it. And that means you can stop right now. In this breath, you can decide that you are done being the victim of your own story. You can decide to be the hero who saves themselves. Don't let your mind trick you into thinking this is impossible. That is just another excuse to stay in the pain. The door is unlocked. It has always been on lock. You just have to stand up and walk through it. The only thing you have to lose is the weight of the world you've been carrying for no reason. Drop it, walk away, and never look back. Because the truth is, you don't need the suffering anymore. You survived. You are safe. It is time to finally, truly live. The secret of self-betrayal. We betray our own happiness because we think we don't deserve it. We punish ourselves before the world can punish us. We think if we hurt ourselves first, it won't hurt as much when others do it. It is a preemptive strike against joy. But joy is not the enemy. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the only way to feel anything real. Take a deep breath. Feel the air in your lungs. That is real. The story in your head is not. You have a choice today. You can wake up and choose the familiar hell, or you can step into the unknown heaven. The unknown is scary, but the known is killing you slowly. Choose the scary thing. Choose the light. Choose the peace that passes all understanding. Your mind will eventually follow. Your nervous system will eventually calm down. You will rewrite the code. You are not broken. You are just stuck in a loop, and loops are meant to be broken. Break the cycle. Break the addiction. Break free. This is your life, not a rehearsal, not a tragedy. It is yours to create. Stop choosing the pain. Start choosing you, because the secret your mind doesn't want to admit is that you have been free this whole time. You just had to open your eyes to see it.